Brantley Gilbert.
What's happening, bud?
Man,
Good to see you. It's always good to see you because you don't live here. So when you do come, it's like a special occasion.
yeah, man. It's good to be out of the house for a minute.
What are you doing up around town? You got some work to do up here?
Yeah, we came up and played a little golf with Gator and Rod yesterday, and just kind of taking some meetings and trying to do something to feel productive. 'Cause I'm like, there's people that are handling this thing well, and then there's people like me. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of coming unhinged.
I was looking at a picture of you playing golf. You mentioned that, and you're in pants. And I was thinking back if I've ever seen you in shorts in my life.
No.
I've never seen you in shorts.
No, I don't wear them. My papa never wore them, and I think that's kind of where I got it. And then I got chicken legs, so that's probably the other part of that. It looks like I permanently skipped leg day. You know what I mean?
Do you have tattoos on your legs?
Not yet, but I'm working on that. I may wear shorts if I.
Yeah, because why get a tattoo if you can't show it off?
Right.
Which leads me to the next question. I had texted you about this. Raymundo had told me he was talking to a girl, and she was like, I got a Brantley Gilbert tattoo, and it was the BG with the G that tied together. She goes, if I showed this at the door of any concert he's doing, they let me in immediately. And so I texted you, and I was like, hey, what's the deal with this rumor? Had you heard that rumor before?
No.
Oh, you had?
No, that's new. So they get in free?
Well, I'm asking you now officially, if someone shows up at one of your shows with a Brantley Gilbert tattoo, in the past, has there been, okay, come on in?
Not that I know of.
Okay, in the future, though, is it something that you would consider if more people would get them?
Well, okay, that's a double-edged sword because I think it's slightly strange to see, like, my initials on other people.
Okay.
But that's better than seeing, like, the signed version of it. Like, this one guy asked me at this meet and greet if I would sign his head. So I purposely signed it, like, kind of jacked up, so maybe he'd see it when he sobered up. I was like, I don't need to do that. And he did it.
He got it tattooed in his head?
On his, yeah. And I put it in a crooked spot where it wasn't, like, symmetrical or anything, and he did it. It's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That stinks. You got 5 number ones, all which you co-wrote here. I'm going to play a couple of them here. Country Must Be Countrywide. Ray, if you can hit this for me.
Country must be countrywide.
It's been 9 years now since this song.
Yeah.
Does that seem like just yesterday, or does it seem like just a whole Brantley lifetime ago?
Man, it feels like a lifetime ago, honestly. I'm not a rookie anymore. I feel like, it's but man, it's been a hell of a ride, man. And the guys that are around me, man, I'm surrounded by an awesome family, and we've been a part of this journey together. And man, listening back to any of those is kind of like getting in a time machine for a minute. But yeah, it feels like a long time ago.
Also in 2011, You Don't Know Her Like I Do. Do you play this at your show still?
Yeah, dude, I wrote that about my wife, who was not my wife at the time, and we were kind of broke up. And that was one of those songs that I spitefully put on the radio, so she had to hear it all the time.
And did she?
Yeah.
And what was that relationship like while you weren't together and she was hearing it all the time?
We didn't speak or talk. It was it was like one of those breakups where we went our separate ways. I was kind of in not so good a place, and we went. So we were 5 years on and off, and then about 5 years completely off. We didn't see her speak, and then we got back together, and we've been married 5 years now, and back together 6.
Tonight is bottoms up.
Now this sound feels a little different to me from the others. Did you make a transition from 2011 to 2013? Was it a producer, like your mind of what kind of music you wanted to make?
Man, you know what? I've always approached my entire career as being a songwriter before an artist, and I think it's allowed me the freedom to kind of bounce back and forth between different influences and different sounds, and it's given me a lot of freedom.
This next one, 2014, One Hell of a Amen. I would assume, just me talking from what I've seen our listeners talk about and being around you, that this is probably the song that one of the songs people come up to the most and go, that song really touched me.
For sure. Man, it was one of those that took on, a different meaning almost every time it played. And as a songwriter, one of the most rewarding things, about writing a song is having somebody come up and saying, hey, man, this, I can relate to it, or it did something that changed the way I thought about something, helped me cope with something. And that one, man, what's really cool to me about that song is that it's, when we play it live, And when people hear it now, it's not so much of a mourning of a loss or grieving. It's more of an anthem about, a celebration of life and legacy.
What Happens in a Small Town from last year, number one. All 5 number ones you're a writer on. Is that some sort of pride piece for you that it's like, I ain't doing a song unless there's a part of me that's in it?
For sure. Yeah, man, I take pride in being a part of the writing process, and it's my way of making sure that I'm telling my story. And when people listen to a song from me, they can, I can say that it's a chapter of my life. It's a piece of my life. It's something I've seen or been through or been really close to a situation, close enough to feel comfortable writing about it. So,
which leads me to Hard Days, which we're about to play. So this is your latest single. So you talk about, something from you. Tell me about what from you came into this song when you wrote it.
Man, to me, I had plenty of hard days to look back on. I feel like we all have our hard days and our hard memories and things that are still hard to think about to this day. And I think it was kind of a conglomerate of all those that went into me the first time I heard the idea. Brock Berryhill and Jimmy Bell and Jay Brunswick and Morgan Wall, all of them have their own story that goes into it. And their stories are actually a lot more interesting than mine. Morgan actually got a call before the writing session, and it was a family member letting him know, his mom letting him know that she had a procedure coming up, and of course that kind of shook him to his core. And the goal of the writing session the next day was to find some kind of tempo, something rocking, and they just weren't landing on it. And he said, guys, he put that idea out on the table, and no sooner than they started writing on it, Jay Brunswick got a call from a family member letting him know that another family member had passed. And he came back in the room and was like, guys, this thing's just raising its hand. I feel like it's saying it needs to be written. So I feel like it's a special song. I love it because it comes from a place, it meets you where you are, as opposed to being preachy or soapboxy. It kind of just levels with you and brings sort of kind of a helping hand into a coping situation.
I mentioned a few minutes ago you had 5 number ones that you have, but I didn't mention the 2 songs that you wrote that Aldean did. You wrote My Kind of Party and Dirt Road Anthem.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because that was pre-me get into town. And so when I was hearing the Jason song, that's the only way that I knew it. But you had done it, right?
For sure.
Like you had recorded it. And then how does that transfer go? Did he call you and go, hey, can we do this?
Yeah, it actually came through Michael Knox. He's a good friend of mine. And man, I think the world of Michael. Michael's Jason's producer. And he called and he and I and Colt were all kind of talking back and forth. And he goes, man, like, we'd love to cut Dirt Road Anthem. And, that was a song that Colt and I had done together, and we both had versions of it. So it was really cool. And, then he turned around and told me, man, we like My Kind of Party too. And that was awesome, because I wrote that song when I was really young, and I wrote it by myself. And, man, I was new to town and stuff. And honestly, like, it was one of those things where we still played it every night. We had a version of it, so I didn't feel like I was losing the song totally. And he just made it, his thing. And, it was an awesome experience, man. And I feel like both of those songs kind of opened some doors for, me, kind of to come on the scene with a little more rowdy than had been played before. And, man, I think it worked out awesome. And big thanks to Jason Aldean for doing that.
It's funny. It sounds like a little bit on like a way less talented version of Eddie and I's relationship, because I'll be wearing clothes and he'll be like, hey, I like that shirt. Can I have it? And I'll go, well, I mean, it's mine. I'm wearing it. But he's like, but can I have it? And then I'm like, okay, fine. He goes, what about the hat too? It feels like that's what Aldean did with those 2 songs. Like he got one and then was like, wanted the other.
Well, I did have a couple people, that are following that had to get on and do like a little video telling them, like, look, Jason Aldean did not put on a ski mask and come in my house and steal these songs. And I didn't sell my soul by having them come to me. It was actually a huge favor and a huge tip of the hat, and man, I'll always be thankful for it.
I want to ask you about your man cave, because I saw you posting about it, and I guess it's over 7,000 square feet.
It's between 6,500 7.
What?
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
huge.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's so I used to have this pole barn we parked my bus under, and I tore it down and we built it right there.
Okay.
Just right up like my driveway from the house. Everybody loves it but my wife.
Do you spend too much time there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have so your old barn? So I have a barn at my house now in the back, and for us to do anything with it, we have to go and ask the city. Or do you live so far in the sticks it doesn't matter?
We just kind of did it.
Yeah, that's how I feel I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Just do it and sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, ask for forgiveness. And if they won't give it to you, be like, all right, it's there. I mean,
Oh, yeah. So what all is in a 7,000 square foot man cave?
so it's got room for the bus, and the bus parks in the middle. And then on the right side, I have my 1968 Cougar. You're talking about my kind of party where it says get the cover off the 68. That car's in there. And then Speed Corps built an awesome little F-150 race truck for me. It's in there. I have another car that's on the way, and then my big truck, my F-250 is in there. All my bikes are in there. I had 2 little drift trikes and some off-road stuff. Basically, what I did was took all my stuff, and I'm really obsessive compulsive, so I have these giant cabinets in between these pillars that hold the building up, and there's like a touring cabinet, and then like a hunting and outdoors cabinet, and then a sports and recreation cabinet, and a tool cabinet, and everything that I own, if it didn't fit in those big cabinets, and I didn't need it. And I put a full bar in it.
But you don't drink, so what are you doing with the full bar?
Everybody else does.
Nice. So I have a full bar at my house, and I don't drink.
See, there you go.
And well, really nobody else does either. But still, it sits there and it looks good.
Exactly. See, it's like and I got like big buck hunter in there, like the game, with the guns and you shoot deer and stuff, and then like golden tee golf, and upstairs we got like sleeping quarters. So if you get bit, quote unquote, at the doghouse, you can stay the night.
Nice. I saw that you pay tribute to Charlie Daniels, and you did an acoustic cover of what's my favorite Charlie Daniels song, Long Haired Country Boy. Yeah. And just growing up, I was like, man, this is my song. Like, I'm from a really small town in Arkansas. I had a mullet a lot as a kid, and I felt like this song was talking to me, but I feel like it's a very underrated Charlie Daniels song. Why that song? Whenever Charlie passed away, did you decide to play?
Oh, man, because that was just the kind of Don't Tread on Me, Charlie. I just love what that song says, and, the way it sounds. And, I don't have long hair, so I had to leave this bald head country boy alone. I'm not bald either, well, I'm bald by choice.
Yeah, you shave it. You shave it. Yeah. I saw that. Thought it was pretty cool. And I think also it was one of the first songs I learned to play on guitar because it's basically 4 chords. Oh, yeah. And it's the 4 easy ones. Yeah. Brantley Gilbert is here. You guys be sure to stream Hard Days, download it. Tweet your radio stations or get on their Facebook page. You don't have to call them because that ain't a thing anymore. But you can tweet them and Facebook them. Did you know that?
I didn't. Calling's not a thing. I call everybody. It's a problem.
Are you a phone user? My phone is basically a computer that I don't talk on.
I text, but I mean, I'm old school, man. Like really, really, I just got an old soul, I think. And like Borchetta gives me crap because my record label president, like, instead of texting and being like, hey, are you around? I'll just cold call him like 11 or 12 at night.
I always think somebody's on fire if that happens. I'm like,
really?
Oh, God, somebody's calling me. Yeah.
I've probably done that to you.
Yeah, you have. And I'm like, oh, my God, how did I anger Brantley? And I answer like this. Hello? Very tentative.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Brantley Gilbert is here. I know you have your guitar. I know it's early, but would you mind playing us a song here?
Sure, man.
I mean, are you aching? I guess my question is, because I don't normally have you play when you come in. I just like talking with you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you haven't been able to play in a long time, and I'm actually doing you a favor. See?
I appreciate it.
How about me? Look at me.
Look
at me. Look at me.
Because you know how much I love this. That's a story for another day.
All right, and I do, and that's why we almost never have you play. Okay, Brantley Gilbert. This is will you do bottoms up? Is that what?
Yeah, man, I can do that for you.
All right.
It's early.
It's early.
If you're a drinker, you should probably just take the rest of the day off. And
I'll do my hot tea.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Everybody else, get hammered.
At Brantley Gilbert, follow him. You can look at this big old man cave bar. Man, I don't even know what. I was like, I got to ask Brantley about that. And you brought it up in the middle of the segments, and we're like, yeah, the band guys are coming down. And I was like, Don't talk about it yet. Want to wait till we get on the air. Listen, you know I love when you come by. Always great to see you, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me. It's always a joy to come here. Oh, y'all good folks. You're funny, and I think the world of you, man. So I appreciate you having me.
All right, there he is, Brantley Gilbert. All right, back in a minute.